Hello and good morning friends, welcome to the CEC-UGC live lecture. Dear friends, as you know that we are carrying a series on operations management and we have conducted ample of lectures under this very series, and I would like to say that in our previous session we discussed about JIT, that is just in time. We discussed elaborately what just in time is. Today also we are going to carry the lecture forward, that is on just in time, and today we are going to discuss on the success factor regarding the JIT, and for this we have again with us in our studios Dr. Subhash Kakkar. As you all know that Dr. Kakkar visits our EduSec studios frequently and he keeps on delivering the lectures with ample of examples, and through his immense knowledge he tries to give all the students immense knowledge so that it becomes convenient for you to study the course material, as well as he gives you knowledge which is apart from your course material too. So dear friends, let's take advantages from his experiences and carry the lecture forward from the point where we left, or we would be discussing on the new element, that is the success factor regarding the JIT. So first of all, I would like to welcome our guest Dr. Subhash Kakkar. Dr. Kakkar, welcome to the EduSec lecture. As we have discussed in the previous lecture also about JIT, and today also we are going to discuss further. So over to you, sir.
Thank you, Gitika. Welcome viewers. Today's lecture we are going to devote it to JIT, and this lecture is part of the series of lectures on operations management. JIT, its success factors. This is a topic we are going to discuss in detail so that the viewers should know exactly what is meant by JIT and how it should be implemented in the organizations. And we have to concentrate on the success factors. We have to tap only those buttons which are going to make the JIT in the organization a great success. We have to get advantages of JIT system, and for that we have to have certain factors in our mind so that we should keep track of these factors so that get the benefit of JIT in the organization. Just in time, we have already discussed in detail and viewers know what is meant by JIT and just in time. And now today we are going to discuss success factors responsible for making JIT implementation a success in the organization. Say we have discussed a lot of things in JIT, and now we have to discuss the success factors which should be taken care of in the organization while implementing so that we get the maximum benefits out of JIT system. JIT success factors. In order to achieve competitive advantage through JIT, the necessary success factors should be tried and should be given importance and the priority in the organization to make it a great success and to get the maximum benefits out of JIT system. JIT success factors, I have listed them. The first one is product design, process design, personnel organizational elements, manufacturing planning and control, supplier relationships, supplier networks, supplier relationship should be maintained, and preventive maintenance. Now we will discuss the product design, which is one of the success factors listed earlier. What should be there in the product design so that we can get the maximum benefit out of JIT? Process design with product design. Standard product configuration and standard parts be used. Here we are putting an emphasis on using the standard parts. For making any product, for manufacturing any product, we require raw material, we require bought out items, we require semi-finished items also. And we should keep it in mind that the design should be such that we should be using only standard parts, because if we use non-standard parts, their availability is less and time for procurement is also more. If we use on the other hand standard parts, these are available as out of the shelf items. So, we should be using only the standard parts, we should try to avoid the use of non-standard items in the product. Produced number of parts, and we should see that the design should be such that the number of parts should be minimum as far as possible, and this is only possible if we combine certain parts together in the sense that combo or modular design should be used. If we use modular design, then the number of parts required for manufacturing a product is reduced. Same thing I am discussing in another point, modular design should be given importance and it should be preferred over ordinary design. Concurrent engineering, for launching of any product, concurrent engineering process should be used, which is QFD, quality function deployment. It reduces time for launching of a product because every action is taken simultaneously, concurrently, and there is less time required for launching of a product if we use the concurrent engineering process. Highly capable production system should be used, which will reduce the requirement of inventory. Process design, now we will give emphasis on the process design. We have chosen a design based on the JIT requirements. Now, we will choose the process on the JIT requirements, and JIT requirements are, as far as the process is concerned, small lot sizes, and the process we should be using small lot sizes. Why? Because if we use small lot sizes, we will require inventory in small sizes only. If inventory is reduced, it means we have achieved success in implementing JIT in the organization. Setup time reduced, changeover time and setup time should be reduced. It will make the system very flexible. If time for setup is reduced, the system is more flexible. We can change the design immediately without wasting time in setting up of the machines. So, if we have less setup time, it means we are successful in implementing JIT in the organization. Cellular layout, manufacturing cells layout should be used, and this will require less of WIP, work in process inventory will be reduced if we use cellular layout system. Reduced inventory, limited WIP, and always we should see that the process is designed in such a way that WIP is the minimum. WIP is the work in process, continuous quality improvement, and our process should be continuously improved on all the fronts so that we get the maximum benefit of the improvement. It is only possible through implementation of Kaizens in the organization. In the Kaizen implementation, each and every one is involved in setting up the process which is more effective, more safe and more beneficial, more productivity is there and more efficiency is there. And this is done through implementation of Kaizens, through continuously improving the process. Here we should understand the meaning of continual and continuous improvement. Continuous improvement is if we keep on improving the process continuously, and on the other hand continual improvement is there, we make some improvement in the process and we wait for some time for its stabilization. When once it is stabilized, then introduce another modification in the process, introduce another improvement in the process, and then keep on improving day by day. And this is a difference in continuous improvement and continual improvement, and we should prefer always continual improvement over continuous improvement. Production flexibility, multifunctional workers, general purpose machines we used. Here production flexibility should be achieved in our process design, and here we have discussed two things: multifunctional workers, multitask should be given to the workers and they should be trained on all the aspects so that they can perform more than one job in the organization. And we should have general purpose machines installed in the organization so that we can make use of JIT implementation. If these two things are there, means first is multitasking, multifunctional workers are there and general purpose machines are there, we will be successful in implementing JIT in the organization. And a balanced system should be there. If we have a balanced system in the organization, everything is balanced, every requirement is balanced and even the layouts are balanced, then we are able to implement JIT, and this is one of the success factors in the process design, and finally it makes the JIT a success story in the organization. JIT success factor process design, we are continuing with the process design, and now we are concentrating on quality improvement. Under quality improvement, JIT suggests that the quality improvement exposes problems. How the problems are exposed? When we concentrate on the quality, we will know what exactly the problems are there in the factory, in the product or in the process. If we start concentrating on the problems and we rectify them, we will have quality process, quality product. So, JIT exposes quality problems by reducing inventory. When inventory is reduced, the problems are exposed and problems are visible to the common man working in the organization. JIT eliminates number of defects with small lots, because if small lots are there and the defects of the products will be visible, because these defects get hidden if the lot sizes are bigger in size. So, small lot sizes defects are visible. JIT requires quality by suppliers also. Will initiate a program so that the suppliers are able to give us the quality products. Team approach and continuous improvement are important for ensuring quality. There should be team approach. Here the meaning of team approach is that if individual worker is working on the job and he is giving some output, and out of these 3-4 workers are given the same job and their outputs are there, we know, and if we combine them, the total output will be summation of all the individual outputs. But now if they are working in the form of a team, their outputs will get added, their outputs will get multiplied also, and the final output will be much bigger than the individual summation of the outputs. So, we should concentrate and encourage a teamwork in the organization, and we will get to know the problems in the organization if such things are happening in the factory. Quality is maintained by the following procedures: find the root cause of the problem, solve permanently and use team approach in solving the problem. A problem solving technique should be implemented in the organization. It says that make a quality circle to solve any problem. If a quality circle is given a specific problem, the quality circle members will sit together and through brainstorming, first they find out reasons for problem, then affinity diagram is made and all these reasons are grouped with specific causes, and finally through brainstorming the cause and the root cause of the problem is found, and the solution to be implemented is also discussed. Alternative solutions are listed and the best one is then implemented to get the results. After implementation, if something is found wrong and that particular thing is changed, and finally the final solution is implemented to get rid of the problem, and again it is done through teamwork only. And this is again an important point to be seen while implementing JIT, and it is one of the success factors of implementing JIT in the organization. JIT requires TQM. TQM is a fundamental system which should be implemented in the organization to get full advantage of JIT. TQM is total quality management. Total made up of whole, quality, the degree of excellence the product or service provides to the customer, and management, organizing, planning, coordinating, directing activities regarding quality. And it should always be considered quality is not an act, it is a philosophy. Statistical process control should be implemented in the organization. SPC and SQC techniques be implemented in the organization to find solution to the problems or the things which are making the defects in the product should be visible through SPC and SQC techniques. Continuous improvement should be encouraged in the factory. Continuous improvement means implementation of Kaizens in the factory should be encouraged. Worker involvement and empowerment are the main criteria to get output from the workers. First one is involvement, second is empowerment. In all the activities, we should involve the workers from the awareness stage to the implementation stage. They should know what exactly is happening in the organization and how the things are to be moved in the organization. And when each and everyone knows and everything is transparent and everyone is involved in the implementation of a system, then we get the results, because it is through the involvement of everyone. And then empowerment, and we should empower the workers so that they can take the decision whenever the problem comes. They should not wait for the decision from their superiors. They should be trained enough to take the decisions on their own, and they should own the responsibility. Any problem, any job which the worker is doing, we should consider that he is the CEO of his own job. He knows the most about his problem and his job. Okay? And if we implement this thing, and if we have this sort of concept implemented in the organization, then things will be successful. As far as JIT is concerned, this is one of the success factors for the JIT. And JIT and the quality tells us inspect own work. We should not wait for others to inspect our work. When we are doing our job, we should be inspecting it also, so that it is free from defects. Nothing should move from our workbench which is defective in nature. And then we should encourage quality circle for solving any problem in the organization. Immediate feedback is a must. And we feel that if we have made a mistake, we should hide it. But it is not a good thing to do. If we have made a mistake, we should be the first person to go to the senior and tell him that this mistake has been made by me and I have a solution to rectify this mistake. And then a solution can be found to rectify the mistake and implement the things. Otherwise, if the mistakes are hidden, these will be visible only when these mistakes become blunders. So, we should be concentrating on the immediate feedback. On the other hand, this is regarding feedback of the performance of the worker also. The seniors must give feedback to the workers immediately whenever something good or something bad has happened. We are supposed to give pat on the back if something good has been done, and we have to educate the worker if something wrong has been done immediately when something wrong has occurred, so that it should not be repeated in future. Fail-safe methods such as poka-yoke prevents defectives. We should implement the poka-yoke methods as far as process design is concerned. Even for product design, we should concentrate on the activities which make the process poka-yoke. Poka-yoke is mistake proofing. So, the process will not make any mistake if chosen properly. So, selection of a process should be such that mistakes are not possible in the process. If it is so, this is called poka-yoke, and poka-yoke again is a success factor in implementation of JIT and getting the full benefit of JIT implementation. Quality at the source. Quality should be maintained at the source. Quality should be embedded into the design. Quality should be embedded into the process. If such is the case, we will get benefit out of this factor while implementing JIT. JIT requires quality within the firm and automation. Automation is, in Japanese term, is called jidoka, automatic detection of defects during production. What is automation and jidoka? Jidoka is defects should be visible when the process is going on. If defects are being produced, these should get visible so that these can be rectified, and these are possible only through implementation of jidoka. Jidoka is again one of the success factors in implementing JIT or getting benefits to its fullest potential. Quality by suppliers, then we should concentrate on the suppliers also. SRM, supplier relationship management, should be given importance so that we get good supplies from the suppliers, specified items, specified design should get from the suppliers so that there are no defects produced in the organization. Quality improvement. Jidoka assures quality at source. Why? Because the defects are visible at the source and get rectified at the manufacturing stage only. And-on lights signal quality problems. And-on lights be installed in the industry, in the factory, in the organization, so that defects are visible, and these will give us the quality signals to take action. So, and-on lights and jidoka implementation finally will give result to JIT. Visual control makes problem visible. We should have visible controls. If something has gone wrong, visibly it should be possible to see that particular defect, so that if visibly it is seen that defects are produced in the machine, we will take the corrective action. If the defects are not known, the corrective action will not be possible. Visual control. I have two diagrams here, two photographs here. How to make use of the visual control system. The first one gives us how the tools be arranged in the workshop. Here on the piece of board, all the tools are kept, and these tools have an outline marked on their outer surface on the board. If something is removed from its location, it will be visible that something has been removed from that particular location, because its outline will be visible, and outline should be marked in red color. If something is there on the board, it shows that something is available. If something has been removed from the board, it will be visible to the person who is looking at the board that this particular thing has been removed from the board. And board is used only for storing tools. Say for example, one of the mechanics has taken a plier from the board. When the plier has been removed, its outline will be visible on the photograph. If somebody looks at the board and finds that only outline is visible and not the tool, then one will come to know that this particular tool has been removed from the board. So, this is called the visual control. And similarly, visual Kanbans, okay. Kanban number is there 407, 408 and 409, and their capacities are visible. how much is there in the Kanban is visible, and this is means operating through the visual controls. There are other visual controls also. See, lighting of bulbs and on lights, an example has been shown in the diagram, in the photograph. A machine is moving, a conveyor is moving. On the conveyor, parts are moving, and on light is also there, and there are 3 types of lights: yellow, red and green. So, each has a different meaning. So, based on the light, we can come to know the condition of the process being carried out. If something has gone wrong, so red light will be there, and similarly green light and the yellow light. On the second diagram, a library shelf is there, and we want to know that if anything has been removed from the shelf or not. So, we will put a diagonal line, a straight diagonal line. Say for example, a set of books are there on the shelf. If some book is removed, we should be able to know that a book has been removed and from what location it has been removed. So, we will mark a diagonal line, a straight diagonal line. If some book is removed from the shelf, this diagonal line will not remain straight. Offset will be there at that particular location from where the book has been removed. So, offset location will tell us some book has been removed from that shelf. So, this is again through the visual control. As far as possible, we should be able to, or we should implement the visual controls in the organization, so that if something goes wrong, it should be visible to everyone and a proper action should be taken by the concerned person. Again, I am telling you that in the instruments also we can have visual controls. I have shown meters, good, better and the best. The first one is good, with a pointer pointing towards the reading, and we know that 30 to 50 is good, but the better is we should mark a red line also, where we should never get that reading. If that reading in that red location is there, it means something is wrong, and this is called better, because we have marked a red zone on the meter itself. If the pointer points in the red zone, it means it is not good product, but the design of the tool is good with a red marking. Now, there is third design which has a marking, which has a red zone also, and there is a bulb also. If some reading is there in the red zone, a bulb will also light, and it is this sort of design is called the best design. It has a meter, it has a red zone also, it has a red light also. So, with this sort of things, implementation of JIT becomes possible and effective, and we will get maximum benefits out of JIT. Production flexibility. Overall objective is to achieve the ability to process a mix of products in smooth flow. In production flexibility, the meaning is, if we want to change the capacity, we should be able to do it without spending much time on changing the settings. So, setup time should be minimum. It is only possible if we have a flexible system in the organization. People use FMS, flexible manufacturing system, in the organization. For that, we require machines. We require design of the machines in such a way that changeover time is the minimum. Just few settings and the things are changed to our specifications. So, we should have a flexible system. With the flexible system, JIT implementation becomes easier and maximum benefits can be achieved through JIT. Eliminate bottlenecks. If we eliminate the bottlenecks, and if we see the process through TOC, theory of constraints, will make implementation of JIT very effective. Reduce downtime by reducing changeover time. So, we will have to stop the machine if we are changing its settings, and this changeover time should be minimum, and this is possible only if we have a special purpose machines where changeover is very easy and less time consuming, and use preventive maintenance to reduce breakdowns. Here one of the things which is important is the maintenance part of the machines, and now we are discussing the downtime. If preventive maintenance is being done, the breakdowns will be less, rather these will get eliminated. And if we cross train workers to help clear bottlenecks, we have to train the workers on multifunctional areas, and which will remove the bottlenecks of the organization, and use many small units of capacity. Lot sizes should be small. Instead of becoming large, we should have small lot sizes, and the capacity requirements should also be small. Then the implementation of JIT is possible and easier. Use offline buffers. Buffers available offline should be used in processing any product, and reserve capacity for important customers, and we should keep it in mind that we have to have reserve capacity available in certain cases for important customers or important requirements. Now we have to discuss the balanced system, which we have talked about earlier. A balanced system distributing the workload evenly among workstations. The meaning is, we should have the workstations for manufacturing a product where the time required on each workstation should be same, and for that we will require line balancing, and line balancing should be done to show that and to achieve the equal time on all the work centers. Rather, if we are not able to make the equal time on all the work centers, the idle time will get introduced in our process time, and this idle time, our aim should be, it should be minimum. If idle time is minimum, it means we are able to install a balanced system, and line has been balanced, and this should be the criteria in loading the workstations in the organization. And work assigned to each workstation must be less than or equal to the cycle time. It cannot be more than the cycle time, because the maximum time taken by any work center will either be equal to the cycle time or equal to less than the cycle time. If it is more than the cycle time, it means the cycle time itself is increased, which we do not want. Well, we are carrying out the line balancing operation, we have to take into account all these parameters and all these conditions, so that the work center time should not be more than the cycle time. As far as possible, the timings of all the work centers should be equal. Cycle time is set equal to the talk time. Cycle time setting should be equal to the talk time, so that the idle time is minimum. Talk time is the cycle time needed to match the pace of production to customer demand for final product. So, cycle time should be aligned with the talk time, and workstation timings be adjusted in such a way that workstation time should not be more than the cycle time, and this is through balanced system. Now, we will discuss about streamlining the production. Traditional flow we will discuss, Suppliers are supplying the items in the form of raw material, semi-finished products, etc. And then the process is carried out and finally the product goes to the customer. Again we will concentrate on the first diagram. Suppliers, inventory, stagnant ponds are there and production process takes place and the finished product goes to the customers. When we have stagnant ponds and these ponds are basically the inventory availability at different work centers. If these are very big in size, means where we are keeping the inventory, this is not good for the process. Now we will discuss the flow with JIT. In JIT we do not have ponds available in the work centers. Whatever is produced in one work center, it moves on to the second work center and to the third work center. Nothing is kept as an inventory in the individual work centers, and these work centers, okay, inventory is called stagnant ponds, and we should always avoid the stagnant ponds. We should have a smooth flow through the process, and if smooth flow without inventory is there, this is a JIT flow, and this is implementation of JIT makes the elimination of the ponds where the inventories are getting built up. Now we will talk about inventories. Traditional inventory exists in case problems arise. JIT objective eliminate inventory problems, rather eliminate the inventory altogether, and this is only possible if we carry out the process in an intelligent way. Means if we keep the timings of all the work centers same, no inventory built up is there, no waiting time is there, no idle time is there. JIT requires small lot sizes. If things are being procured in small lot sizes, definitely the inventory will get reduced, inventory will be small. Low setup time. If low setup time is there, the items required during the setup time will be minimum. So, low inventory will be there. Containers for fixed number of parts should be there, so that we are able to store only limited items in the containers and not more than the container capacity. JIT inventory. Minimum inventory. Inventory is what? Raw material, WIP and finished goods, and we have to take care of all these three items, so that we should not be building the inventory of the raw material, we should not be keeping WIP more than what is required, and we should not maintain finished product inventory also to keep the system running, and this is through JIT only. Specialized bins for holding previously set up number of parts be there, and use a pull system to move inventory. We have discussed, we know that there are two systems, one is called pull system, other is push system. We should always prefer pull system. Pull system pulls the items from the preceding work center whenever a demand occurs. And reduce lot size, reduce setup time, develop just-in-time delivery systems with suppliers, and we should have an understanding with the supplier to implement JIT. Whenever a requirement is there, supplier is informed and supplier should be able to deliver the items without wasting time. Deliver directly to the point of use. Items are supplied to the point of use. It means items are supplied at the shop floor. Nothing is stored in the store. Items, when received, will not go to the store for storage purpose, for inventory purpose. Rather, these items which are ordered, these will be received at the shop floor, and at the shop floor these will be consumed immediately. Nothing is kept in the inventory. Perform to schedule. Everything should be performed to the schedule what has already been planned. Nothing should go out of the schedule. If such thing is there, then we feel that the JIT has been implemented. Use group technology. We should use GT. And now we have to concentrate on the work in process. WIP also. Benefits. What are the benefits? Lower carrying cost. If work in process is less, carrying cost will be less. Less space required. Increased flexibility will be there, and it aids scheduling also. Rather, vice versa, scheduling reduces WIP, and WIP reduction makes the things more flexible and saves cost of rework and scrap. If we have less WIP, work in process inventory, less scrap will be produced, less defectives will be produced. And two general approaches are there. One is Kanban, focuses on individual workstations and the constant work in process. WIP focuses on the system as a whole. So, two systems are there. One is Kanban. Kanban is nothing but JIT or lean manufacturing, where WIP is minimum. On the other hand, there is ConWIP also. Constant work in process focuses on system as a whole. So, we have to focus on the system as a whole also, and we have to focus on the individual systems through implementation of Kanban, and this will make the system JIT effective. Inventory hides problems, we have already discussed. Just as water in lake hides the rocks. Let us see the diagram. Here the rocks are there. The first lake is there and the rocks are there, and the water is filled up to a certain level, covering all the rocks, all the peaks of the rocks, and the ship is sailing. So, inventory level means the water level is kept at the highest peak level, and that is going to be the inventory level. Inventory is very high when nothing is exposed. No peak of the hill is exposed. I will discuss what are these hills. But now if we reduce the level, if we reduce the inventory level, means the water level is reduced and some of the peaks will be visible. Some of the peaks or the problems will be visible. These peaks are nothing but the problems. This is an example to show what problems are possible, and if we maintain less inventory, and these problems will get to the surface, and these problems will not be hidden, and these will be visible. Now, look at the diagram again, and all these peaks. The first peak I have shown as insufficient layout. Layout is not proper. This is also a defect in the process. Second peak is bad design. Bad design again requires more inventory. Another peak has been shown. Unreliable supplier. If reliable supplier is not there, we will have to keep more inventory of the items being supplied by that supplier. So, these will increase the inventory. Now, the third is late deliveries. If the items are not being delivered at the proper time, late deliveries are there, again we will have to keep the inventory. Quality problems are there. Out of the supplies, if certain defective items are supplied, then again we will have to have more inventory. Process downtime is there. For process downtime, we are to keep finished product inventory. And similarly, if machine breakdown is there, we will have to have more items available in the stock. So, all these peaks will be visible if we maintain low inventory level. Everything which is hindering will be visible, and we will find the solution to that problem. So, we should keep less inventory so that the problems are surfaced out. In the second diagram, again the problems are shown. Scrap is one of the problems, setup time is problem, and late deliveries. If these are, level of the inventory is reduced, and these things will be visible. Setup time, it has the highest peak So, this will be visible if the inventory level is reduced. Next is late deliveries. Again, this will surface out if the inventory is kept at a lower level. I have shown the quality problem also as a problem in the process. If the inventory is reduced, this will also be visible. So, keep the inventory low and the problems will be surfaced out, and these problems when surfaced out, when known to us, will get solution. So, keep the inventory low. Lowering inventory reduces waste. Unreliable vendors, scrap and capacity imbalances. Again, these are the problems for which we are to keep the higher inventory level. Lowering inventory reduces waste. So, now we have to reduce the inventory. If reduce the inventory, all these problems will find the solution, okay? And the WIP, work in process inventory, will get reduced. Reducing inventory exposes problems, so they can be solved. If these problems are visible, these will find a solution. Lowering inventory reduces waste. Again, further reducing the inventory, all the problems will get surfaced out, and then these will find the solution also. JIT success factors. Another success factor is the personnel, human resource factor, personnel organizational elements, workers as assets, cross-trained workers. Cross-functional teams require cross-functional trained workers. Employee empowerment, continuous improvement, and cost accounting. Leadership, project management, commitment, all these things are pertinent to the personnel working in the organization. All these things are important for the workers. We should take care of all these items so that implementation of JIT is a great success. Employee empowerment, empowered and cross-trained employees to help clear bottlenecks through TOC, theory of constraints. Get employees involved in product and process. Employees know the job best. Employees are working on the machines, they are manufacturing the product, they are the CEOs of their problems. They know the job very well. So, they should get involved, rather they should be involved in designing the product and designing the process, so that we get maximum advantage of their experience and their knowledge. And then training support should be given wherever training is required, and the impact of training should also be visualized. Bottom round management style of working and commitment should be there. Commitment, support of management, employees and suppliers. There are three items we are discussing: support from the management and employees and supplier. So, management, employees and suppliers and their support should be there to implement JIT in the perfect manner. Any improvement must be made in accordance with the scientific method under the guidance of a teacher at the lowest possible level in the organization. Here again we are discussing three things. One is, any improvement, any changes are being made in the organization, these should be done through scientific principles. Scientific principles say that our activities should be based on data and facts only. No sentiments be involved in taking any decision. Second thing is, a mentor should be there to guide the workers, and everything should be done from the lowest level. If these three things are maintained in the organization, and this system is called TPS, Toyota Production System, and it should be done through Toyota Production System because they have achieved the benefits out of implementing this system, and this system can be copied in any organization. JIT success factors, manufacturing, planning and control. Planning is again one of the factors, success factors for JIT. Uniform production levels. level loading, level schedules be maintained, and pull system, try to use only pull system. I will again describe the push system also, which is the counterpart of the pull system. Push system works through MRP, Material Requirement Planning, MRP 1 and MRP 2. MRP 1 is Material Requirement Planning and MRP 2 is Manufacturing Resource Planning. Earlier we used to have only MRP 1, then we introduced MRP 2, Manufacturing Resource Planning. All the functional areas which are giving support to the operation function are called resources, and these resources be planned, and these include say finance, engineering, quality. So, use of these functional areas is through MRP, Manufacturing Resource Planning. So, MRP 1, MRP 2 both should be used. MRP 2 is not replacement of MRP 1, it is in addition to MRP 1, and we should be using only pull system. Pull system is there, we make the things when these are required, not we store them in the inventory. Visual systems we used for detection of defects and reduced transaction processing time, and uniform production. What is uniform production? Results from smoothing production requirements. There should not be uneven requirements with respect to time. We should be making a leveled requirement. Kanban systems can handle plus minus 10% of demand changes. Say Kanban, when it is implemented, its system can take care of up to plus minus 10% demand variation. Smooths demand across planning horizon. So, it means that we should be using Kanban. Mixed model assemblies steadies component production. So, steady requirement of components will be there if we use mixed model. Level schedules reduce ripple effect of small variations in schedules, that is final assembly. So, we should level it out so that ripple effect is not damaging the implementation of JIT. Production quantities evenly distributed over time, every month a uniform production requirement should be there, so that we can schedule our resources accordingly. Uneven requirements will make the things haphazard, we should avoid it. Build same mix of production every day, try to make same product mix. Product mix means the quantities of different products to be manufactured. We should try to keep them same every day, otherwise every day we will have to make plans differently. So, item A, item B, I am considering monthly requirement is 40 and 60, daily quantity can be calculated 2 and 3. JIT scheduling tactics, there are certain tactics for scheduling the processes while implementing JIT. Involves timing of operations. Scheduling in JIT requires level loading, level scheduling. There should not be uneven requirement and uneven loading of the processes for making different products. Zero deviation from schedules. We should encourage zero deviation from the schedules what we have already made, performing to schedules, and we should follow the schedules. Suppliers informed about schedules, and suppliers should also be informed about our schedules, so that they should be ready with the supplies. Small lot size is be used, seeking one piece make and one piece move. This is small lot, so we should encourage one piece make and one piece move. One piece will make the requirement of small lot sizes. Making each operation produce a perfect part, no defect be produced, and Kanban techniques be implemented in the organization, and these will make a JIT system a great success. Pull-push systems. Pull system we have already discussed in detail. System for moving work where a workstation pulls output from the preceding station just as it is needed, and this is through Kanban. And versus pull system, system for moving work where output is pushed to the next station as it is completed. So, we should always try to implement only pull system rather than push system. The pull system, material is pulled through the system when needed. Reversal of traditional push system where material is pushed according to a schedule. We have already discussed this uses MRP1 and MRP2, and we should try to avoid using push system and rather we should use pull system. Forces cooperation and prevent over and under production, and we should avoid overproduction also and underproduction. We should make just required items only. Kanban production control system. Kanban card or other device that communicates demand for work or materials from the preceding station, and this is pull system. And Japanese word meaning signal or visible record may be card or may be a flag, ball, etc. So, visible controls be used. Paperless production control system should be implemented. So, today we have discussed, viewers, different success factors for JIT implementation. I hope by now viewers must have understood first the meaning of JIT, then different success factors for implementing JIT, so that we are able to get the maximum benefits of JIT. JIT is nothing but a system for zero inventory, zero defects, and how to implement it we have today discussed in detail. I hope I am able to make it amply clear to the viewers, and now viewers will get benefit out of this lecture by implementing JIT in their respective organizations. Thank you so much.
With this note, thank you, sir. Thank you so very much for giving us once again a very productive session. Dear friends, if you have any queries or if you want to give your feedback regarding this particular lecture, then you can mail us at info.cc@nic.in. We would be coming again and we would be conducting more lectures on operation research. Till then, take care. Thank you. Thank you so very much, sir.